Motorcraft Brake Service when you use your Ford Service credit card. Subject to credit approval, taxes extra, rebate by prepaid debit card, pads or shoes on most vehicles, one axle, exclusions apply. See your participating Ford dealer for rebate details through 6/30/16.
When your Ford needs service, you need the specialist.
If you're just joining us, we're in the second half of the Q4 Financials Review via GoToMeeting.
Today is super important. High stakes for everyone with the sales cycle ending.
And Blakely's absolutely crushing this finance report right now.
Yeah, she's looking really strong.
And Blakely hands off presenter to Wong. His stats on marketing analytics near perfect this year.
Check out that webcam action. Great hand gestures.
Holy Toledo, that is one meeting MVP.
How does he do it?
With GoToMeeting. Start your free trial at GoToMeeting.com.
So I'm in studio with Matthew Dwyer, founder of Healthy Trim, the other day, and you have to listen to his reason why Healthy Trim works so well.
Because research shows, Fester, that 95% of all diets fail because they have to give up the foods that they love. But that's not the case with Healthy Trim. I tried the meal plans, I tried the shake plans, I couldn't do them. But what I can do is I can wake up in the morning every day, take 2 Healthy Trim capsules, drink water, and go about my day because it is just that simple. I lost 47 pounds in 100 days, and I was an investment banker for 17 years out of college. I was just desperately trying to lose the weight. But after I learned all the healthy benefits, I figured if the supplements can work on a fat tub of goo like me, they can work. They can work on anybody. And now, after 3 years, I haven't gained a pound back.
Go to healthytrim.com right now and start losing weight today. That's healthytrim.com. Or give them a call at 1-800-456-TRIM. That's 1-800-456-TRIM. Don't wait a single day longer. It's healthytrim.com. Or give them a call again at 1-800-456-TRIM.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Slow traffic now on southbound Veterans Expressway anywhere between Hutchinson and Hillsborough Avenue. A minor crash off to the right-hand side just south of Ehrlich. Southbound I-75 now slow approaching those entrance ramps to I-4. And I-4 a bit slow between the Plant City area and McIntosh. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uderick Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. Does your child struggle to concentrate and pay attention? What looks like ADD or autism may actually be caused by lead poisoning. Lead is a neurotoxin. It can cause permanent brain damage. Find out how to protect your family. Go to leadsafeamerica.org.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Another pleasant afternoon, mid-80s for the high. Partly sunny skies. Tonight's low down to 70. Upper 80s, near 90 temps starting tomorrow. We'll see that for Thursday as well. Then back into those mid-80s Friday with a 20% chance of rain. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WHNZ AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Winds WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and thanks for checking in to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Great show planned for you today, and it's also TBBO Tuesdays, where we feature some of the members of the Tampa Bay Business Owners, and many of y'all know that this show now has a partnership with the Tampa Bay Business Owners. So if you're a business owner out there and would like to learn more about the organization, visit tbbo.org, and at 2:30 today at the station, we're having an intro event, so you're welcome to attend that free of charge. Just head over to here, 4002 West Gandy Boulevard at 2:30, and it'll last a couple of hours, and we'll even give you a tour of the station, learn more about TBBO during the event. On today's show, we'll be featuring in the 8 o'clock hour Diane Daniels, who has been on the program before, host of Medicare Nation, and she's also the host of her new podcast, Weight Loss Nation. So part of her podcast includes a 90-day challenge, so she's bringing in some people that are participating in the challenge. She's doing like a mentor-mentee type of a thing going on here, and so she is, again, a Medicare expert and also an expert now in weight loss and doing a podcast on that. So we'll be featuring her in the 8 o'clock hour. At 7:30, we'll be talking to Christina Griffin, a fellow real estate agent with Coldwell Banker, top producing realtor, I should say. Number 2 in the nation last year for units sold in the team category within Coldwell Banker. And she and I have worked together for many years, and she is an expert contributor to the program. So we'll be hearing from her in the 7:30 hour. But up first, out of Ocala, I've got the very talented podcaster and host and founder of the Horse Radio Network, Glenn Hebert, a.k.a. Glenn the Geek, with me. Glenn, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jamie.
So what time's your show go on? You have a morning show, too. When are you getting ready to go on the radio?
I was just getting ready for that. We start at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So first off, Glenn, tell the audience, and this guy started a podcast years ago, and it's grown into this huge network of listeners, of advertisers, of sponsors. You've got like 10 other shows around horses. I mean, how did you build up a podcasting network around the horse?
Well, we started back about 9 years ago with one show. It was our first show, Stable Scoop Radio Show, and after about 3 months, we had 12 listeners. We were trying to figure out how to communicate to horse people how to listen. Back then, podcasts were a new thing. So we were figuring it out along with everybody else. And then I had a couple people contact me and say, I want to start a show. In different areas of the horse world. We started a few more shows, and then, coming up to today, we have 10 shows now on the network. We have listeners in 90 countries. We're the largest online radio network for the horse world. So we have 20 different hosts, and now have produced over 5,000 episodes over those 9 years.
And you've done this through no terrestrial radio. This is strictly an online network, correct?
That is correct. Yep.
So how did you get the listeners? Because there's so many people out there that have started podcasts, and it's so difficult to get listeners. I mean, how did you get your listeners?
Well, I came from a sales background, so I knew a little bit about sales and also getting people involved in your ventures. So what we did from the very first day is we got as much of the horse media as we could, the newspapers and the magazines and the blogs. We got everybody we could involved in the shows from day one. And then we developed our own player that they could put on the website so people could listen to our shows on their websites. And we kind of made them media partners. And today, after 9 years, we have 70 media partners across the internet. That is the reason, that and word of mouth are the reason that we've grown to the point we are now.
I was just going to comment about the word of mouth thing, because a lot of the people that are, into taking care of horses, they're go-getters. They're never around. They're always at the farm taking care of horses. How did you reach those hard to find people?
Well, it was through those media partners, through the magazines that they got, the blogs they read. And that's how people ended up finding them. And then they were listening on iTunes. They would listen on our website. We estimate that about 40 to 50% of our listeners listen while they're cleaning stalls. I think we're probably one of the only ones that can claim that, actually. And one of our big sponsors, by the way, is a manure fork manufacturer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So your background was what, in insurance sales, or what was the background?
Yeah, I was in financial sales for 20 years, also owned an acting company, and we did Medieval Feasts for 10 years, 450 shows. We did kind of a Benny Hill version of a Medieval Feast. It was a lot of fun. I learned more about business from being a performer, from being an entertainer and an actor, than I have anything else I've ever done.
And then you did improv, right?
Yeah, we did all improv, and I recommend anybody going into business of any kind, if you're going to be in sales, if you're going to be in business of any kind, get some improvisational acting training. Most towns have it. You can find it at the local theaters. You can find it somewhere at the college. It was the best training I've ever had.
Improv is one of the most difficult of all the acting skills out there. And so how did it carry over to business? What skills did it teach you to help you become a better business person?
The biggest skill it teaches you, especially for sales, and anybody that owns a business is in sales. So the biggest skill it teaches you is to listen. Is to listen to what people are telling you. You cannot be a good improv actor unless you're a good listener, and that's the biggest skill it teaches you.
Interesting. And
that's better than the answer I was going to give. Yeah. I was going to say, so you could pretend you care about the client.
So was your improv comedy based? Was it general drama acting? How's that work?
No, it was on a comedy show. We had kings and queens and jesters and jugglers and musicians, and it was all comedy based. I played the king for 10 years. I kind of miss people bowing to me today. After 10 years, people bowing, you kind of get used to it. But that was the acting company definitely was one. I'm in entertainment now. What we do is entertainment, right? We have to entertain people first,
right?
And that has, I'm probably one of the better interviewers of the 20 hosts on the shows. And I think that's because of the improvisational acting training.
No, you're the leader, too, so we'd hope you'd be the best interviewer out there. So what was your inspiration?
I'm not the best host, though. I hire people that are better than me.
Well, that's a good tip right there in business. Always find people that are better than you to fill in the deficiencies. So what was the inspiration then to launch a podcast, and why did you choose the horse?
Well, my wife's a horse person. I married into it. I'm a horse husband. My title is America's Horse Husband. I didn't know a thing about horses when I got married, and then at times I've actually owned more than my wife. There's a lot of controversy about whether I can be called a horse husband anymore because I own horses. But you know what? When it comes to the horses getting hurt and there's blood and everything, I go to my wife and say it's all yours. So I think that still makes me a horse husband. But I don't know. I had a passion. I love horse people. I like horses, but I love horse people. I married one, right?
Right.
So, and I just love the people that are involved with horses, and that's why I thought, well, let's start a podcast. It was new back then. I like to being the first to do things, and I thought, well, I'm going to be the first in the horse world. And my goal was from the beginning to make it a business, to make a living at it, and to be the biggest podcast network for the horse world in a number of years. And that's where we've come to at this point. And it's been a heck of a lot of fun along the way.
Hey, Glenn, I know a lot of people that own horses and run horse ranches. They seem to be really laid-back people and really cool. They kind of go with the flow. Horses are very moody animals. They're very temperamental and things like that. Did you have to adopt that laid-back attitude to deal with horses?
Do I sound laid back, by the way?
Yeah, actually you do, but I thought it was a good question, Glenn. Thanks.
Actually, that's why horses are used for therapy and are becoming more used for therapy every day. Is because when I'm very type A. I love doing the shows. I love doing what I do. But when I'm with the horses, you are absolutely right. You have to tone it down a bit. Some horses can be high strung, others are not. I happen to own the high strung one in my family. My wife is a total love. So you get both kinds. I mean, horses are a lot like people, personality wise. You have a little bit of everything. But when you're dealing with horses, patience is a virtue. And that's why horse people, when they're around horses, tend to be more calm, cool, and collected. It's because you have to be. I mean, you are dealing with a 1,500-pound animal that can hurt.
Yeah, they're gigantic.
Yeah.
Now, I've just recently started going down to the Tampa Bay Downs and kind of getting involved in some of the things down there.
How's your checking account?
I'm staying away from that right now. They give you these huge books of stats and numbers, and I can't decipher all that stuff yet. I'm a little scared, too, because once I start to learn that stuff, I start putting down too much money.
But the lure of the dollar just keeps you going.
But what I'm trying to figure out, though, is it seems to be like that's a community. There's a culture of horse lovers and people that go to the track. Is that true?
Oh yeah, there definitely is, and we cover racing a little bit on our live morning show, Horses in the Morning. My co-host there loves racing, so we cover it a little bit. But there's another network actually called the Horse Racing Radio Network that started before we did. That's all they do is they cover horse racing. We love it like last weekend was our Super Bowl time. We had the Derby, and we got to cover all things around the Derby and Nyquist winning. And do we have another Triple Crown winner? Is it going to be like the 1970s where we get 3 winners in a decade? All of that creates a lot of excitement. Yet we have there's a certain segment of the horse world and our listenership that doesn't like racing at all.
Right. You don't focus. I mean, your Horse Radio Network isn't, about racing. I want to stress that. I mean, it's pretty much about anything and everything related to the horse. So you cover that, a little bit, but I mean, you really get into all the different facets of owning a horse, correct?
That's right. Yeah. From health to just everything that horse people have to deal with. And horse people are different. There's another reason that our network has grown to the point it is our listeners are addicted to horses. That is their life. When you're a true horse person, that's what you live for. You clean your barn before you clean your house. You never clean your car. I don't know a horse person cleans the car.
I don't do that Anyway.
But you will do anything for your horse before you'll do it for for your house or your kids or your husband. They're just addicted to that. And that's one of the reasons that we've grown to the way we are, is they're always wanting new information, new media to consume, and we just provide it in a way that they can listen when they're doing their horse thing. They're riding, they're cleaning stalls, they're doing the boring stuff. And that's why I think our most popular show is 5 days a week, an hour and a half each day. And in podcasting, they say you can't do a show over 20 minutes. It won't work. But our people are using it to kill time that's otherwise just pretty boring.
Yeah. Let me take a break here. Coming back from the break, though, I want to talk with Glenn about some of the shows that he has on the Horse Radio Network, and also get his opinion on whether or not Nyquist will be the next Triple Crown winner here coming up in the races. So we'll get his opinion coming back from the break. Learn more about this and the network at horseradionetwork.com. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Slow traffic in the Wesley Chapel area on eastbound State Road 56 approaching I-75, this near the new mall. Also, we've got slow traffic on southbound 275 anywhere from before Bierce to around Sly with a crash off to the left-hand side near Bush Boulevard, southbound Veterans Expressway. Typical delays from around Hutchinson to Waters. And also westbound I-4, very slow from Plant City over to McIntosh. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udor. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. Almost 1 billion children around the world live in extreme poverty. You can change or even save the life of one of those kids when you become a sponsor with Compassion International. Find out how you can help at compassion.com/radio.
Today, partly cloudy and more humid, high 85. Tonight, mostly clear, low 69. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, increasing humidity, high 87.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Now start weekday mornings at 7 a.m. and running all the way through to the 9 a.m. hour. Currently talking to Glenn Hebert, a.k.a. Glenn the Geek, the founder of the Horse Radio Network. You can learn more about this and hear their shows at horseradionetwork.com. And Glenn, so I got to ask, Nyquist, favored to be a Triple Crown winner for the second year in a row. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about this year. I really don't. And I wish I did, but we tend to want to be positive about another Triple Crown winner 2 times in a row. But I've been disappointed for the last 30 years up until last year. I don't know. we have that debate going on right now on the shows about what's going to happen.
I mean, he was one of the first to be undefeated here going into the Kentucky Derby. Right? He's 8-0 so far. He hasn't been defeated, correct?
That's correct, and his connections are the same connections of I'll Have Another, from the owner to the trainer to the jockey, and I'll Have Another was the Kentucky Derby winner a few years ago. So it's exciting to see them back in the win and that they'll have another shot at this. So we'll see. We'll see in a couple of weeks. I wouldn't bet on anything I recommend because I'm known for picking the horses by name. I pick them by what names are called.
I think that's what a lot of people do down at the racetrack. Now, when people get into this horse business, I mean, it's a costly business. I mean, just what's it cost to get just a basic horse? I mean, that's thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah, we have a saying in the horse world that the cheapest part of owning a horse is buying the horse.
Wow.
You're going to spend a lot more on care and upkeep and hay and feed and vet visits and all of that than you ever will buying the horse.
Training. The training.
Yeah. All of that stuff is a heck of a lot more than the price you're going to pay buying it.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I was going to tell you, we've done some fun things in the years that we've done this show. We've been invited to some cool places, and one of the horse owners that people don't know a lot about, or they know a lot about him, didn't know that he had horses, was Elvis. Elvis was a huge horse guy, and we got invited to go to Graceland to do the live show, Horses in the Morning, from Elvis's barn. And they still have horses on the property because he was a big horse guy. He owned 100 horses at one time. And so we went there, and we got to tour the whole place the day before, and we got to meet with the lady who had been with Elvis taking care of his horses way back when he was still alive. And she told us, we spent an hour and a half with her just telling us stories of Elvis and his horses. It was one of the most amazing days of my life.
Interesting.
It was very cool. Yeah.
So you have 10 different radio shows on the Horse Radio Network, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, let's go through some of the shows. I know one of your shows was one of my past guests on the program. Is her show still airing on your network?
Is that Heather?
Yes.
Heather is part of our Horses in the Morning
show. Yes, Heather Cannon, yes.
Yep, she does a show called Women in Rodeo, and she joins us twice a month on Horses in the Morning and talks all about the ladies in rodeo, and we're excited to be covering rodeo. We had never done that for the 9 years, and it's a huge part of the horse world. So Heather's kind of leading us into that.
Yeah, so she was in here talking about Country Girl Glitz, a clothing line last year, and then she came back in and she was talking about her venture into podcasting. And so I ran into you at an event, and I didn't even realize that she had joined your network. So I had recommended, I said, you need to talk to this guy Glenn. He's got this Horse Radio Network. I think it'd be a perfect fit for your podcast. She's like, I'm already in there. So some of the other shows that you have on the Horse Radio Network.
We have shows about carriage driving, eventing, which is kind of like the triathlon of the horse world, dressage, which everybody calls horse ballet. We have a show called Horse Tip Daily that my wife does, and that's a short tip every day. She's up to like 1,500 episodes on that. We also have a show called Healthy Critters Radio, and then we have a couple of general shows, Horses in the Morning, the one I do every morning, and then another one called the Stable Scoop Radio Show. And that's kind of fun. That was our oldest show. That's been going 9 years, every week for 9 years, never missed a week. And that show this year is the Year of the Listener. So all our guests this year for the whole entire year, all 52 episodes, are listeners. And we're learning about their lives. And we always say every horse person has a story. It's our job to find out what that is. So that's been a great thing going on over there.
Are there any shows catering towards trainers or the special needs therapy trainers?
Not special needs. We have done many episodes on that because it is becoming a huge thing and it works very well. We do have the Horsemanship Radio Show. You might have heard of Monty Roberts, the original horse whisperer. His daughter does a show on the network called the Horsemanship Radio Show, and that's all about horsemanship. But yeah, we're looking at expanding. We'd like to take the Horse Radio Network to 20 shows, and I think one of those shows I would like to have in the mix is on therapy of all kinds. They're doing that with veterans now, the Wounded Warrior Program, and all kinds of therapy for autistic kids and just everything. It really works well with horses, and we want to delve into that a little bit more.
Very cool.
I might know somebody. I mean, there's a ranch right around the corner from me called Kitty Up. I might talk to them and see if I can get them interested in doing a podcast.
Very cool.
Sure.
Well, Glenn, we got to wrap up the discussion here at the bottom of the hour break, but congratulations on building up a heck of a network, and hopefully we got you a few more listeners here in the Tampa Bay region that now know about the Horse Radio Network.
Well, if you like horses, come over see us, horseradionetwork.com.
All right. Glenn, thank you so much. Take care. That was Glenn the Geek, a.k.a. Glenn Hebert, again, founder of the Horse Radio Network, an amazing network of horse shows, and you can learn about this at Horse Radio Network. No terrestrial radio, just all online. Coming back from the break, we'll be talking with Christina Griffin on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
A hard day's work.
Like sportscasting?
You said it, ladies. Stay cool with Gold Bond Powder Spray.
Stay cool with Gold Bond.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Slow traffic in the Wesley Chapel area on eastbound State Road 56 approaching I-75, this near the new mall. Also, we've got slow traffic on southbound 275 anywhere from before Bierce to around Sly with a crash off to the left-hand side near Bush Boulevard, southbound Veterans Expressway. Typical delays from around Hutchinson to Waters. And also westbound I-4, very slow from Plant City over to McIntosh. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udork. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today, you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lung cancer to learn more.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. Another pleasant afternoon, mid-80s for the high. Partly sunny skies. Tonight's low down to 70. Upper 80s, near 90 temps starting tomorrow. We'll see that for Thursday as well. Then back into those mid-80s Friday with a 20% chance of rain. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. If you're finding me on the air for the first time, this is a show where we talk to business owners, entrepreneurs, political and community leaders about what they're doing to make a difference in the community. So it's a show with a positive message. It's unlike any other show on terrestrial radio in this market. Again, I wanted to take a stand against all the negativity on the airwaves and do something that is good and that is right with the community. Show always looking for new guests and also looking for new show partners and sponsors. So if you'd like to get involved with the program, send me a message through the contact form over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, today is TBBO Tuesday. We now have a partnership with the Tampa Bay business owners, and you can learn more about that at tbbo.org. We have an event coming up today at 2:30. It's a free event, Intro to TBBO, and at that event we'll be just taking people that are interested in the organization, taking them through what it is to be a member of the Tampa Bay business owners, and we'll even give you a station tour. So if you're a business owner and you would like to attend that event, it is free. You can just show on up and learn more about that. Again, tbbo.org. Christina Griffin is tied up in traffic, so she is not with us just yet. She may pop in here in any moment now, but that's morning traffic for you in this area. We're all the way down here on Ganny, and when you live up in Trinity like herself, you may get stuck in traffic. So, but nonetheless, we have one of her agents on her team. She is well known for being the team leader of the Griffin Group, an award-winning team within Coldwell Banker, number 2 in units sold for 2015, and she's on track to be number 1 or number 2 again this year. She and I have sold 2,000 plus real estate listings, and we can be your resource for buying or selling in the Tampa Bay region. I myself specialize primarily just in the listing of properties, but she specializes not only in listings but also buyers as well. And she has one of her agents here in studio representing the team today, Jody Sherman. Jody, welcome to the program today.
Thank you for having me, Jamie.
So, Jody, first off, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you find the Griffin Group, and why did you want to join Christina's team?
Oh, why would you not want to join Christina's team? Christina, when I first got into real estate's name was all over the place. And literally, it was an inspiration to see how a group can literally touch many people in the community.
So were you in real estate at that time, or what was
Yes.
where were you at, and what were you doing in real estate?
Oh, I actually was originally from New York. 20 years ago, my family moved to Tampa. 15 years ago, I bought my first vacation home. And since then, I was always in real estate.
Now, your background, though, is in garment design, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and you were an instructor, and I find that interesting because fashion, to me, I know nothing about. I don't know how many different ways you can make a shirt or a dress. It just amazes me that this stuff's still getting produced. I think by now, everything that can be created has been created. So, but tell us a little about your background in garment design.
Well, I've been in the industry for 30 years in the garment industry as a production engineer, which for some people don't know what that is. That's somebody who starts off as a tailor, and I'm the person who would work directly with the design team, get the actual sketch from inception, literally through production, work directly with a factory. And I've been fortunate not only to be in the garment industry, but also to be a professor at the Fashion Institute of Technology for at least 10 years.
I could imagine instructing people on fashion. It's just how many, like I said, to my point, how many different ways can you design a garment? I mean, gosh.
Fashion is evolution, and it is, it's about complementing retail, complementing consumer needs, and providing a service. So yes,
Could be worse for you, Jamie. I mean, I dress like an adolescent, and people like actually dig it. So I mean, you know, at least you got that going for you with the suits and all that.
Yeah, I mean, men have obviously a much easier
Yeah.
time with fashion. We just wear, basic, suit.
It's
and-
more of a female thing for sure.
And if it was up to me and socially acceptable, I'd wear sweatpants and a T-shirt every single day. And I did for my first 6 years in school. I wore nothing but sweatpants to school, and I got made fun of because I would never wear jeans or anything else.
You're only on camera from waist up, so I mean, it's not like you can't get away with it.
Yeah. But now, I do have other things I do outside of the camera.
Oh yeah.
I do
forgot.
sell
You
real
sell
estate
real
after. I do
estate,
make
yeah.
I do make public appearances. I don't hide just behind the camera. But yeah, until I was in 7th grade, and finally the humiliation finally got the best of me, and I started buying jeans in 7th grade. But no, I loved just wearing sweatpants as a kid. So did you develop a product line, or did you just strictly work mostly in teaching?
Most people know me as a private label manufacturer. Actually, when you go into a department store, for example, like a Macy's, you would see a specific label like Charter Club, and that would be exclusive to Macy's. I would actually be the person who worked directly with a design team to do the fit process and make sure that the fit is consistent for the consumer. So, and that not only would it be just for Macy's, all department stores across the border, that's what I serviced.
So did you have a brand name that was under your name?
No, it would be it's a private label name in the actual department store.
Private label name. So what do you mean specifically by private label name? Was this somebody that was a designer and you represented them?
It's a name that's actually exclusive to a specific store.
Okay.
That you will not find in any other store. Like Kohl's has its own brand, so
Okay.
we would cater to Kohl's.
Okay, gotcha.
Or we would, whatever this department store is, we make sure it was specific to that department store.
Okay.
So when you see runways and you see many shows, many of the times I was the girl who was doing the actual fit.
Oh, cool.
So it's actually fit to the customer base, and I'm a tailor, but to a different level. It really is servicing.
So you got involved in the New York runway, the Fashion Week or whatever that goes on
We
up
did the
there?
Fashion Week. We worked with the models. We did the photo shoots. We actually had to interview models, make sure that their body type was exactly like the customer.
Just like the size 0 and squeezing into those dresses and everything.
Exactly. From plus size to petite to yes,
Yeah.
and everything had to get altered. We made one style for one store. We had to alter it to each size range.
Yeah. So why did you leave the fashion industry then?
I actually was always in real estate simultaneously when I was in the fashion industry.
Okay, and were you selling real estate up in New York too?
Yes, I was.
In the city, or what parts of New York?
From Brooklyn to Staten Island to New Jersey to the Hampton Bays to you name it up north. That's
Our
where we
guest
were.
Diane Daniels, who's coming in at the 8 o'clock hour. She's from I think Brooklyn, isn't it?
Yeah,
she's at Brooklyn. She goes woohoo! So you Brooklyners must stick together. But what's it like selling real estate in New York versus Tampa Bay?
Very different. First of all, the responsibility of the realtor is different because in the state of New York, there are real estate lawyers, and in the state of Florida, there are not. And the role is a lot more intricate and involved on the logistics end, working closer with the title company and so on and so forth. It's very different in New York versus Florida.
What's the role of the attorney? Are they handling the closing sort of like what the title company does here, or is there an escrow company on top of the attorney in New York as well?
There is a separate title company, and the lawyer handles everything in regards to the escrow and so on and so forth. Literally, the biggest difference is the realtor in New York finds the client, services the client, and then presents everything to the lawyer till close, so that your job is done at that point. And literally, the realtor shows up at the end, and it's really the lawyer who's making sure that everything is up to snuff for the state.
Now, how's the barriers to entry to selling real estate in New York? Is it pretty simple to get a license like it is in Florida?
Well,
I mean, in Florida, you take an exam, you do some fingerprints, and 2 months you got a real estate license. I mean, how does it compare like in New York?
it's the same exact requirements. You do take an exam. Same exact.
But it's a much more cutthroat industry up there with the real estate professionals. Down here, you got a bunch of, it's mostly an older community of real estate agents. It's more, country. It's more laid back. And in New York, I just watched the real estate shows on television. They're just much more, at each other. How would you describe that?
Yes, Jeremy, you've identified that very clearly.
Did you ever run into Ryan Serhant up there, $1 Million Listing New York? I had the pleasure of interviewing him on my show last year. Did you ever run into him?
No, but quite frankly, I spent a lot of times out in the Hamptons and Southamptons, and talk about real estate where you're on the water and there's $2 million homes, and you're literally socializing with many realtors. It's actually a little bit more secretive out in New York. They don't want you to know they're a realtor.
La Cosa Nostra?
Okay. Literally. Here in Tampa, or I should say in the state of Florida, everybody knows who a realtor is. And there's a lot more.
I've never come across anybody that doesn't know a realtor. So I think that's one of those things where everybody knows somebody in that category.
The percentages are greater here in the state of Florida.
So how long have you been selling real estate in the Tampa Bay region now?
It had, on a personal level, it's been 15 years.
And what's your assessment of the market right now? It's it's very, it's undersupplied. It's very competitive out there. It's hard to find some homes. But you're out there working with the buyers. I'm out there selling listings for banks, and so I may not be as in tune with what the buyers are saying and everything. But what's the temperament of the typical real estate buyer in Tampa right now?
Well, right now the inventory is minimal. So the buyer is eager, and there are literally 2 price points that are a sweet spot. And okay, 120 is a sweet spot where there is an enormous amount of clients looking to buy a home. And you really have to be aggressive if that is your price range. Why do I say that? Because when you walk into a home and you believe that the listing price is, you can negotiate that, or you can kind of lowball an offer on a price, it is not possible.
Right.
There's just too many clients walking in and saying, okay, let me have it. So you should be looking at that property as, wait a minute, either I want it, what's the price I will pay for it, and don't literally try to negotiate on it. Be aggressive about it up front.
Now, where are the buyers coming from? Are they mostly finding you online, or how are you getting in touch with the buyers in the real estate markets?
Well, quite frankly, my clientele is because I've been door knocking, and I have been quite successful with the door knocking.
That's an old school technique that not many real estate professionals employ, but some of the most successful realtors I know in the area do employ that technique. And you just walk around neighborhoods knocking on doors. What do you say when somebody answers the door? Hey, you want to sell your home? What do you say to them?
Well, you know what? For me, it's an opportunity to get to meet the people in the neighborhood and the community. It's I knock on the door really with the opportunity of really offering my service and really getting to know who's behind the other side of the door.
Now, do you specialize in a certain neighborhood right now?
Of course.
Which one is that?
It's totally Port Tampa and South Tampa.
Now, why is that? Did you grow, or I wouldn't say you grew up in New York, but why? What's the attachment to that neighborhood then?
I'd have to say it's the people and the grandfathered communities and just the humbleness amongst the people that I meet.
Are most people, when you knock on the door, are they nice and receptive?
No, not at all. So actually, I'm the woman of rejection, to be quite frankly. Well, it has built a lot of stamina, and it has actually taught me quite a bit. And I love every minute that I go on my journey. I've had more rejection with people, even though I leave my business card, and they'll call me up on the phone and say, "Don't ever call me again," or they'll literally chase me off their lawn.
They'll go that far, yeah.
They go that far. I've just out of kindness. My tactic is a little different. It's not just door knocking. It's really about wanting to listen to people, and I've actually enjoyed the part where when people invite me in their home and I sit in the living room and they tell me about their family roots and how they were the first person on the block. They built, had all the land, and then they divided the land. It's just great history.
So when somebody answers the door, how do you begin your pitch? What's the first thing you say to them?
I'm not a Jehovah's Witness.
Well, my first pitch is usually if I've sold a house in the community, I just want to let them know that we just sold a home, and that's my way of introducing what it is that I provide as a service. And then I do inquire in regards to if they might possibly know of anybody else who is selling a home or thinking about selling a home, and how I can help them.
That's really funny. She gets in and gets all personal with everybody, and then they go to the south. She's like, get rid of all your pictures.
Yeah.
You don't need any pictures. Get rid of anything personal. Get it out of here.
But you're getting listings, though, this way. And I always tell people that are getting into real estate business, I mean, if you're going to last in real estate, you got to become a listing agent, because working just buyers is a very difficult side of the real estate business, just because of how the market works and how buyers work. That you can't hold a buyer to anything, and so you can be working with a buyer, and then they don't buy, or they don't qualify to buy, or they buy something with somebody else. With a listing, you get get them tied to a contract, and also if you can farm a certain area, you get to be known as the realtor in that area, and that's really how you become successful in real estate. So that's what looks like the plan that you're following right now.
That is exactly the plan I'm following, and one of the best compliments could be where you have a sign on someone's lawn, and then you go and introduce yourself to them, and then they can identify with who you are, and then if you could provide them with more than just being a realtor, but being more of a person who wants to help in the community, build the community, complement the community. They emulate to someone like you.
Yeah, that's exactly how before I was even in real estate back in 2005 when I lived in Fishhawk Ranch and I needed to sell my home. Nancy Akers' sign was on every other listing in Fishhawk, and I don't even know if she's still in the business. I haven't seen her in a long time, but I called her up and she sold my home in 9 days back then. Of course, that was 2005 when stuff was going like hotcakes, but that's why I called her, is because her sign was on every other home in the neighborhood. And so for you real estate professionals or people that want to be real estate professionals, I mean, that's the key to success. Farming a neighborhood, getting your name on those signs in front of those yards, in front of those houses, and they generate buyer leads too. So if you like to work the buyers, you get plenty of buyer leads off of those signs. If you're just working one side of the business, very difficult to grow the business. Let me take a break here. Currently talking to Jody Sherman. She's a member of Christina's Griffin Group. Christina stuck in traffic, so unable to be with us in the 7:30 hour as scheduled, but we wish her well. She may pop in here. I don't know. She may have turned around and went home. I don't know. So we'll hear from her maybe in just a little bit. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information. Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Attention medical professionals. Have you heard that Tampa Bay will become the first certified wellness district in the country? Thanks to Jeff Fennick's revitalization of Channelside, the Dr. Whisperer wants to streamline your efforts in preparation. So when you're ready to ignite your practice, use the Dr. Whisperer's public relations expertise to spread the word. Use the Dr. Whisperer to motivate your staff. And use the Dr. Whisperer to recruit and secure leaders within your practice. Call the Dr. Whisperer today at 727-420-2481 or visit thedrwhisperer.com, where they write your prescription for success.
Do you have the next billion-dollar app idea? Stop waiting. You don't want to be the person 5 years from now who watches somebody else get filthy loaded and then says, I had that idea too, but I didn't act on it. Let Popcorn Apps help you get started. They have all of the resources needed to develop your vision and will do it at a price that works for you. Check them out at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn. That's popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, and let them build your application starting today.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Good morning. Very slow traffic this morning on southbound 275, anywhere between Bierce and Hillsborough Avenue. 2 accidents to report, one off to the left near Bush, one off to the right near Sly. Southbound Veterans Expressway slow between Dale Mabry and Hillsborough Avenue. Also southbound I-75 slow from before Fletcher to around I-4. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udrich. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. More than 1 in 3 American kids has lead in their blood. No level of lead is safe. Lead poisoning causes learning disabilities and behavioral disorders. Has your child been tested? Learn more at leadsafeamerica.org.
Today, partly cloudy and more humid, high 85. Tonight, mostly clear, low 69. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, increasing humidity, high 87.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Now starting the week off at 7 a.m., and we're in our third week of 2 hours a day and plugging along very well. So thank you all the listeners, show partners, staff, and people that make this show possible each and every morning. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, it's TBBO Tuesdays, and in just a few moments, we'll be featuring one of the members from the organization, Diane Daniels, host of the newly released Weight Loss Nation. She's been on the program before. She's also the host of Medicare Nation, so she's an expert in that field, and also had some struggles with weight loss throughout her life, and it inspired her to start this new podcast, the Weight Loss Nation. We'll be talking about that, and she's got 3 people from her group that are participating in a 90-day challenge as part of her podcast. So she's got like a mentor-mentee relationship going on. So again, podcasting, a great way to grow your business. We heard from somebody who was very successful with that in the 7 o'clock hour. Glenn Hebert, a.k.a. Glenn the Geek, started a show on horses. All of about 4 listeners for the first couple of months, he said, and now he's got hundreds of thousands of listeners, many sponsors, 10 different shows, all under the Horse Radio Network umbrella. So again, its show is completely online, and you can hear that each and every morning. I think he begins at 9 o'clock, runs a live morning show through his player on his website, horseradionetwork.com, and he's got links to all the other shows. So for all you horse lovers out there, there you go. A great way to learn more about the horse. So currently talking to Jody Sherman. She is with the Christina Griffin, the Griffin Group, a real estate group that was number 2 in units sold for 2015 for Coldwell Banker. And one of my best friends, Christina Griffin, unable to be with us today. She is tied up in traffic, but so we wish her well. I don't know if she turned around and left and went back home, or I don't know. So she was supposed to be in here at 7:30, but she has sent in Jody Sherman in her place. So Jody, in that last segment, you're talking a lot about one of your techniques to get business, and that is door knocking. And you have a secret weapon that works. What's your secret weapon?
Actually, my secret weapon is my sweeper, which is my dog.
Okay.
I actually, after door knocking, obviously you go through the experience of being rejected quite a bit. And it's really...
So the dog helps from that happening.
Well, actually, some of the neighbors who are not receptive for me door knocking or are quite territorial, the next time I go back, and I go back several times, I bring my dog. And what I literally do is I release my dog. He runs right over to them, and it kind of breaks down the wall. And then if they're
What happens when he pees on the neighbor's lawn or on the lawn?
Then we have a little bit of a problem. Well, that has happened before. Well,
you show up to my house with a dog, I'm liable to give you anything you want.
Here you got a pissed off person because your door knocked on him. You tried to break the tension with the dog. The dog pees on the lawn, and now you just got a whole mess. Now they're calling Christina because they're upset at you. Then they call Christina's broker. Next thing you know, it's all the way up in nationals, and you're in trouble. Has that ever happened yet, or do you not fear that?
No, I don't fear it. I don't fear it at all. But I'll be prepared. That's for sure.
That's because she has a Rottweiler, and if anyone complains, he'll maul him.
He's a mini pin. He's a mini pin. It does think he's a Rottweiler, that's for sure.
What type of dog is that? Mini pin?
A mini pin.
Mini pin. What is a mini pin?
A mini pin is a dwarf. And his name is Bingo. Bingo, I did not say that. He's not a dwarf. It's a smaller version of a pincher.
Pitbull.
A Doberman, yes.
But you've had some good success off of this door knocking, though. Tell us the successes of this venture.
The success is the embracing of the neighbors, where they've actually asked me and invited me to come in, and next thing I know, I'm in somebody's living room, and they're grandfathering how their roots started on that block, and before I know it, we're talking about grandparents and children, and then next thing I know, they're invited in, and then next thing I know, I'm part of the family, and quite frankly, I love what I do. And
you've solicited some $3 million worth of listings, though, so no small feat.
No.
Can't be afraid of the rejection. So, I mean, it comes with the territory, but if you're going to be a successful salesman, whether it's in real estate or whatever, you've got to do some non-traditional stuff. Yeah. Door knocking, an excellent way to grow the business in real estate.
And think about just grassroots, literally communicating with people today. Usually, most people today are running on their phone. They're really kind of, there's a detachment. My grassroots approach is literally connecting with people and listening. Yeah. If you listen, then you can service.
Good information here from Jody Sherman, getting back to the basics with marketing for all you salespeople out there. Jody, thank you so much. Great job filling in for Christina.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And that was, again, Jody Sherman, one of the members of the Christina Griffin Group, called the Griffin Group. You can learn more about this at thegriffingroup.net. Coming back from the break, again, we'll be talking with Diane Daniels, host of Weight Loss Nation, and we'll be featuring TBBO Tuesdays. Again, talking a little bit more about TBBO and how you can get involved in that. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to hour number 2 of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Kicking off the morning now at 7 a.m., so if you're tuning in now, you're late. It's TBBO Tuesdays, weekly edition where we feature a couple of the members from the Tampa Bay business owners, of which the show is now a business partner with. And as always, I have the phone line. I have Chris Kermitzos on the line with me. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jamie. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Hey, did you catch that 7 o'clock hour? I know Glenn the Geek, one of your mentors in the podcasting business, he was on the 7 o'clock hour. Did you happen to catch his interview?
No, I that's what I saw. I saw it on Facebook, and I missed it. I'm going to have to catch the replay, but I caught Christina Griffin's a girl that works in her group that did a great job. I saw that.
Yeah, she was a little bit nervous about how to fill in there, and she did an amazing job. So part of being a live radio show host is dealing with the ups and downs of the guests coming in and out. So, but hey, we make it work, and Jody did a great job filling in for her. So, but yeah, Glenn the Geek, an amazing interview. I mean, he has a horse radio network. For people that didn't hear the 7 o'clock interview, he started a podcast years ago based up out of Ocala. Strictly online. He has a player on his website. If you go to horseradionetwork.com, and he has built this into an amazing network of listeners. He joked that he had 4 listeners in the first 3 months, but today he has hundreds of thousands of listeners, many sponsors. I mean, it's the medium for the horse industry in terms of online listening. And if you go to Horse Radio Network, his show begins at 9 o'clock every morning. He runs a live morning show from 9 to 10:30, and he's got like 10 other shows within his network. And you, Chris, have had the pleasure of interviewing him and seeing him at a number of your podcasting events. Tell us a little bit more about him and also your involvement with podcasting.
Well, did he call in, or was he there in the studio?
No, he called in, and I could tell he was a podcaster too because his audio was amazing. Typically, I got somebody on his cell phone, and I can tell, the sound is not so good, but he had quality sound coming through his phone line or whatever he was calling me from.
Yeah, last year we did the first ever Podfest. And I put some Facebook ads out just to let people know in the state of Florida that we're doing it. And Glenn bought a ticket, and he emails me. He's like, "Hey, I do the Horse Radio Network. I've done 4,000 shows, and have broken 7 figures in ad revenue over the course of the 7 years." And all of a sudden, I'm like, "Man, this guy should be like our keynote." And he bought a ticket to attend the conference. So then, I got to know him, and I'm like, "Glenn, we need you teaching. You've been doing this for so long. You gotta teach us." And he was just so happy to find his fellow podcasters that he could pay this knowledge forward. And little did he know, but he was probably one of the most advanced podcast networks in the country. Period.
No, he
had
is.
No idea. Yeah. He had never left his house, to go see what's going on. And now he's just sought after everywhere he goes, especially in the podcasting circles. But he's just he's an exceptional individual. Without the podcasting, just as a human being. So Glenn's a pioneer, man. He was the first person to ever have, I think he was the first or second person ever to have an online store selling horse products on the internet, and the first or second person on eBay. So he's a pioneer all the way through.
Yeah, and at your events, whenever you do, you just came off of a podcast or Podfest, I should say, a few months ago. Everybody wanted to ask him questions. How did you do this? How did you do that? How did you build this network? Because there's so many people in the podcasting space, and it's a challenge building up a podcast. I myself, put this on iTunes as a podcast, but I don't really consider myself a podcaster. I'm a terrestrial radio show host. But building a listenership for a podcast is a challenge, and that's something that you mentor people on, because you have the Florida Podcasters Association. Did you have your meeting, is it tonight, or did you just have one?
No, the meeting is tonight at 6:30 p.m. So if anyone's listening, and I really, they should take this to heart, because this is, I know quite a few people listen to this show. If you have a message and you want to get it out there and you don't know how, come join us at the Florida Podcast Association tonight at 6:30. Admission is only $10. We're the largest, most active monthly group of podcasters, local meetup in the country. And it's at McAllister's Deli on Spruce, right across from the International Mall. If anyone knows where Eddie V's restaurant is, it's right next door. So just look up Florida Podcast Association. You'll find it either on Meetup is where we host the meetings. But we have Gabe Hobbs. He's actually someone that has roots to the radio station that you're at right now. Jamie, Gabe Hobbs is he was the head of programming for talk radio for Clear Channel. Now it's iHeartRadio, this side of the Mississippi. And he's a very important figure in the history of radio. But he now helps people in radio and podcasting, and he's going to talk about what makes the best hosts so good and what do they do so well communicating. So I'm really excited to have such an amazing expert talking about kind of how to communicate effectively via podcasting or radio.
Yeah, and you're going to need a bigger room here soon. Last time I was at the event last month, I mean, you were overflowing out of that room. So it may not be at McAllister's Deli much longer. You had about like 40 or 50 people in a room that was meant for probably about 25. So
yeah, I think I'll have to find a place. Always need a restaurant with food because it just makes it easier. But hopefully that'll be the same case this time, and then I'll just have to find a bigger room. But I just love running the podcast meetup, and it's just a really great group of people, and they're all from, we have people in the real estate industry. We have people in every industry there. We have one of my favorite stories is Randy Goers, who started the drone radio show, and now he's flying all over the country as an expert at these drone conventions thanks to his podcast, and he's just loving life. I mean, Randy's just doing an amazing job. And all it was an idea when he came to us, and we all said, you got to go with the drone. He had a couple ideas. We said, you got to go with the drone idea. Now he's like a celebrity in those circles, and he's just loving life.
Yeah, and there's so many topics out there that are up for grabs in the podcasting medium here. And you've also are commissioning a film here that we may see at one of the film festivals here coming up. Tell us a little about this and how people in the community can help you get this film to market.
Well, yeah, real quick, because of Glenn Hebert, I mean, it's not every day you have a guy that has a horse radio network at your podcast summit. But at this one summit, we had Glenn, we had Danny Pena, who has the largest gaming network, a gaming podcast that CBS Radio picked up. Then we had Justin Crossley of the Brewing Network. Of course, you have Diane Daniels of Medicare Nation. That's my station. And then you have all these other amazing podcasters, and we figured we got to put this on film. This is like a timestamp, time in history when the most amazing things are happening. So we hired a film crew, Salo Zayas and Neil Gilarte, two of the best filmmakers I know, and we started recording at the conference. Now we're doing our location shoot, so it's a lot of work of us just lining up, going to different locations, and we'll be flying out to California. So I am going to be launching a crowdfunding campaign because we're going to need the community's help, but we believe that we have a chance at an academy to enter it into the Academy, believe it or not. When I say Academy, the Academy Awards for documentary short film. We just got to make sure we get it into the film festivals, but the material so far is just phenomenal. So we believe we have a story that's worthy of a mass audience. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Very cool. Well, Chris, I appreciate you checking in on this TBBO Tuesdays, and we'll be talking a lot more about that film in the coming months, I'm sure.
All right, Jamie. Have a great time with Diane Daniels.
Thank you very much. All right, got to take a quick break, but coming back from the break, we'll be talking a lot more about podcasting as we've got Diane Daniels, host of Weight Loss Nation, and also a fellow TBBO member here on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Toseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktoseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Toseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Attention medical professionals. Have you heard that Tampa Bay will become the first certified wellness district in the country? Thanks to Jeff Fennick's revitalization of Channelside, the Dr. Whisperer wants to streamline your efforts in preparation. So when you're ready to ignite your practice, use the Dr. Whisperer's public relations expertise to spread the word. Use the Dr. Whisperer to motivate your staff. And use the Dr. Whisperer to recruit and secure leaders within your practice. Call the Dr. Whisperer today at 727-420-2481 or visit thedrwhisperer.com where they write your prescription for success.
Do you have the next billion-dollar app idea? Stop waiting. You don't want to be the person 5 years from now who watches somebody else get filthy loaded and then says, I had that idea too, but I didn't act on it. Let Popcorn Apps help you get started. They have all of the resources needed to develop your vision and will do it at a price that works for you. Check them out at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn. That's popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, and let them build your application starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews, and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews, and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Eastbound Howard Franklin Bridge into Tampa, a bit heavy this morning from the St. Pete side over to the West Shore area. Then you're up to speed into downtown Tampa, southbound Veterans Expressway. Still very slow between Hutchinson and the Hillsborough Avenue area. Eastbound side, the Courtney Campbell Causeway, a bit slow near the Big Bridge, and getting reports of slow traffic on southbound McMullen Booth approaching Drew. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson. Udork Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. Do you live in a historic home? Are you renovating? Your children could be at risk of lead poisoning. It takes just a microscopic amount of lead dust to poison a child. Learn more at leadsafeamerica.org.
Today, partly cloudy and more humid, high 85. Tonight, mostly clear, low 69. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, increasing humidity, high 87.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to the TBBO Tuesdays edition of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Time to bring on my guest for the rest of the hour, Diane Daniels, host of Weight Loss Nation. You can learn more about this throughout the discussion at theweightlossnation.com. Diane, welcome to the program today.
Hey, Jamie, what's going on?
Not too much here, just hanging out, having a little bit of an impromptu show, a little surprises thrown at me, but hey, that's all about live radio, is it not?
That's what live radio is all about.
So let's start with Weight Loss Nation. What made you start this podcast, or how did you come up with the idea?
Well, as you know, and for your listeners, I'm the host of Medicare Nation, and I am out every day, and I meet my clients who are predominantly 64 years and older, and probably about 90% of them have 2 or more chronic diseases, either diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, or a respiratory illness. And I was thinking, wow, if 90% of them are having these type of chronic illnesses, and a lot of it is preventable, I need to get going now. You know, I'm 54 years old, and I pretty much enjoyed my whole life. And that means, you know, everything, good friends, family, jobs, and eating whatever food I wanted to eat, okay? So, I've been on this wagon of gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight. And Medicare Nation, just speaking to an audience, just gave me some sort of catharsis where I was saying, you know, wow, I should start another podcast to help me with losing weight. I can do this, but you need to be accountable, and you need to have a huge support system. So it took me about 4 months to plan it, develop it, and get it all together. But because I had to put together mentors because I needed that support system, and I found 9 wonderful, absolutely fantastic people from across the United States in different ways and modalities that they utilize, and we all came together as a village, and they're helping me on my journey to lose weight. But the most important part is to develop a healthy lifestyle, long-term healthy lifestyle. This is it, Jamie. I've totally committed. And I said, this is it. This is every day for the rest of my life. So they're helping me get there.
Now, you've brought the 3 of the mentors in. We got Barb Hennessy here on this segment. Tell me, Barb, welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you, Jamie.
So first off, how did you come in contact with Diane here?
Diane and I met through business group, that we both belong to a chapter of a business group, and that's how we initially met and knew each other over time. And when Diane was thinking up this amazing idea of the Weight Loss Nation, she contacted me and talked to me about it, and I was incredibly honored to be selected by her to be one of the mentors.
Okay, and what is your background then in health and fitness then?
My background is actually in working with people with disabilities.
Okay.
I worked in the vocational rehabilitation arena. I have a national certification as a rehabilitation counselor. And the goal of vocational rehabilitation is to help people overcome their impediments that are preventing them from being gainfully employed. So you work with them in all arenas of mental health issues, chronic physical issues, as well as some emotional issues. So I have a lot of background.
So, Diane, how does this work? Then you have a 90-day challenge, correct? Mm-hmm. So first off, what is the 90-day challenge?
Okay, so the 90-day challenge is one part of Weight Loss Nation. It's more of a motivational incentive for people that are competitive, like myself. So there are people out there that need that piece to get them started, that little kick, right, to get going. So the 90 days is for them to utilize all the tools and resources and the mentors for 90 days to get them to learn and change behavior and to learn different alternatives to just going into a gym. And that's all I've known my whole life. And there's so many alternatives out there that we're going to learn about with yoga and Pilates and different mechanisms. So the object is through the 90 days to use the different resources, the mentors, the support. And then after 90 days, you've kind of developed better habits, you're on the path to success, and then we keep on going. So it doesn't end, but we will have a winner for their hard work after the 90 days. And Carnival Cruise Line is our sponsor, and they have given a 7-day cruise for 2 to the winner of the 90-day challenge.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, fantastic. So, a little bit of motivation and incentive for people to get going, but it really is a beginning more than it ends at 90 days.
Now, have you kicked the show off yet, or is this still in the planning phase for development?
This is our 3rd week. We just started our 3rd week this Monday, so we're in the 3rd week.
So where is the show aired? Is this just on iTunes? Where are some places people can find this show?
Yeah, it's on iTunes, so if you have an iPhone, that little purple microphone icon is where you click on, and then you just search for Weight Loss Nation. If you have an Android, you can go on Stitcher and get that from Google Play. Same thing, just search for Weight Loss Nation. Or you can just go to our website, theweightlossnation.com, and you can hear all of our podcasts. If you become a member, we have access to the mentors, and we have 7-day online support meetings. So people can actually go online from anywhere in the world and get support in help for this program. And we also have recipes. We have a chef from Tampa who did videos for us to help us prepare meals for everybody that does not know how to cook, because that's me. I kind of made this Diane-proof. So if Diane can do this and this is going to work, then anybody's going to be able to do this, because I thought about everyone. There's no discrimination here. Every single person, if they want to live a healthy life, can do it by utilizing our tools and resources.
So it's not just an exercise thing or a diet thing. It's everything all together. It's basically changing your entire lifestyle, right?
It sure is. You hit that right on the head. It's changing your lifestyle, changing behaviors and learning different techniques and different modalities that you can utilize that will keep you on your path to success for the rest of your life.
And you, like me, have battled weight loss issues our entire life. Was that the catalyst, though, of for Weight Loss Nation, or was it the spinoff more from Medicare Nation and you saw all the people afflicted with the different diseases?
Well, I knew I had to do something. My whole life, you're being a yo-yo with the dieting your whole life. It's not healthy. And I've kind of been pushing that envelope, Jamie, because I've been so fortunate. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have diabetes, but I do have high cholesterol. So that's, a precursor for heart disease. So I'm pushing that envelope, and I don't want to get there. I want to be healthy. I love life. I love people, and I just love being social. So I want to be alive as long as I can. And the only way to do that is to be healthy. I can't help, accidents or things that are just going to happen, but I could certainly control my own health. And that's what I want to do now. I'm 100% committed, and I'm going to do this. And by having my own podcast about Weight Loss Nation, I'm out there. I'm 100% accountable now. People are watching me and listening to what I'm doing. So I've lost 8 pounds, and I'm on my way and learning all different, types of exercise, and it's really helping and working fantastic.
So I'm going to go back over to Barb, one of the mentors here within the Weight Loss Nation 90-Day Challenge. So your company, The Joy Within?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me a little bit of the background of this.
Well, that came about through the background. I mentioned my background of working with people with disabilities, and I was laid off back in 2008, 2009, right at that fun time with the economy, and it started me on a journey to find the joy within. I have a lot of background in counseling and talking to people through the vocational rehabilitation piece. So I met this person out networking, because getting out of my job got me out networking, got me out of my comfort zone, learning a lot of new skills. And this is something that I've been looking for. The process, it's a process of releasing uncomfortable emotions associated around trauma or grief or loss of some type. And it's called somatic intuitive training. It's recognizing that you hold on to things. We hold on to things from our past. We may not even be aware of it. And the intuitive part is recognizing that you have choice and power to do something about it. It can be related to your association with the power or your spiritual belief or whatever that is certainly important and can be helpful. And then the training is the process I take you through, the work within that uncomfortable emotion and have an interaction with the person that was part of all of that and release that fear or that anger, that resentment, that guilt.
So you work with people not just with physical but also mental disabilities then?
Right. It's all types of disabilities, all types of...
Does a lot of that have to do with food association, like how they associated with food growing up and things like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of emotional attachment to food and why we eat and when we eat and what we pick to eat. And my role as part of the mentor group is to help people look at that aspect of what it is that they do and approach it from that angle. So I have kind of a different approach than maybe some of the others in the group, but it's getting them to think about it and look at it, and they can make a choice.
Now, Diane, do you feature the different mentors each week, or do they participate in the actual podcast itself, or are they just behind the scenes with the different guests?
So although they're helping me on my journey, they're actually helping all of you out there because as a member, they're available to go online every single day, and each one of the mentors has a specific day and time that a person can go and talk to them for a support meeting. And you can be anywhere in the world. You could be at home, you could be, in your car, anywhere that you feel you need to have support. You can contact them at a specific day and time and get online and talk. And every Friday, on the podcast, I do specialize and talk to one of them and about what their journey has been on Weight Loss Nation and what they do specifically.
All right, got to take a break here, but coming back from the break, we've got a lot more. Diane Daniels, and she's got a couple of the other mentors in studio, so we'll hear from them and about how they're contributing to Weight Loss Nation. Learn more about this, theweightlossnation.com. You're listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So We're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Claim for you and come to you with free mobile service.
813-96 Glass. We turn your broken glass into cold hard cash. Auto Glass America.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Good morning. Slow traffic on the eastbound side of the Courtney Campbell Causeway, stretching from the Little Bridge over towards Rocky Point. Disabled truck off to the left-hand side, just past the big bridge. And that is what's causing the delays. Also northbound 275 on the Howard Franklin Bridge. It is slow into Tampa. Typical delays there. Southbound Veterans Expressway slow between Hutchinson and Waters. And there was a crash in the right-hand lane on southbound McMullen Booth approaching Drew. See traffic problems. Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterek Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at unbound.org.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Another pleasant afternoon, mid-80s for the high. Partly sunny skies. Tonight's low down to 70. Upper 80s, near 90 temps starting tomorrow. We'll see that for Thursday as well. Then back into those mid-80s Friday with a 20% chance of rain. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to the TBBO Tuesday edition of That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Currently talking to Diane Daniels, a member of the Tampa Bay Business Owners and host of the newly released Weight Loss Nation. So you can learn more about this at theweightlossnation.com. Diane, in that last segment, we're hearing from one of the mentors of the podcast, of which you have a 90-day challenge for the listeners, Barb Hennessy. What's your relation with Barbara?
Well, with this journey, we were talking about emotional eating. I am absolutely an emotional eater. Okay, so when I was young, my parents got divorced when I was 10, and me and my younger 3 sisters were raised by my grandparents, and I couldn't have had a better blessing in my whole life. They literally set the adult foundation, okay, for my life, but everything was centered around food. Okay, I grew up, my mom's side is Irish, and even though the food was bland, it was plentiful. So if I, fell outside and skinned my knee and I came in the house crying, my nanny would say, "Oh, it's all right, Diane. Let's sit down and we give you some cookies. It'll be fine." So something like that. So then if I was in school and I got, straight A's on my report card, I was so happy to show. She goes, "Oh, Diane, look at that. You got straight A's. Let's go have a piece of cake." So it didn't matter if I was happy, sad, angry, depressed. Everything was associated with food. So true emotional eater, using food to satisfy those emotions. And Barbara understands that, and trying to find new ways to not use food, to cover and help me with emotions, to look at different resources like meditation, or just walking outside and doing things like that. So she's wonderful, and it's truly helping.
I need to hang out with Barb because when I get depressed, I get like a pregnant woman. I'm eating everything: ice cream, pizza, cookies.
You know, a lot of people don't think of emotional eating as a disability, but it really can be. I mean, look at what obesity and, you know, weight gain does to so many people, but, you know, so many of us, you know, just kind of sweep that under the rug. So your podcast helping to bring to light, you know, that, you know, disability there of emotional eating. I'm the same way. I'm a stress eater. If I had millions of dollars and nothing to do each day, I would probably lose weight. In times of lower stress in my life, I've been much thinner. I've noticed that my weight is like a sine wave, up and down depending on my stress level. Would you
my
say
electric bill comes in too high. I quickly pay it, and then I go order 2 pies.
It's like an EKG graph.
Yeah.
You know, your heart rate up and down,
up and down, up and down. Yeah, I've gained and lost 30, 40 pounds like 3 or 4 different times since I've been 18 years old. So, but I can't seem to lose it. Now that I'm getting older, it just wants to stick. It's very difficult to cut out the all the things that affect you know, us and our bodies. So, what makes Weight Loss Nation so different from the many online weight loss programs already in existence?
Well, let's just go right to the big box. Let's talk about, you know, Weight Watchers, or you can talk about Beachbody, or any of those big box programs. And what makes it different is that Weight Loss Nation is lifelong, and it's also providing you with 24-hour support. The other big box programs don't do that. They want to sell you something. They want to sell you products and things like that. And Weight Loss Nation is all about food that is natural, food that grows on trees, food that comes out of the ground, or if you're coniferous and you want to eat an animal. So that's what we're all about. Regular food, okay? No special drinks, no special pills, nothing like that. We're learning how to have better behaviors and to utilize the healthier food, more organic foods that are out there for every day, so that this is a lifetime choice.
Now, you got another one of the mentors here on this segment. We have Lorena Saavedra Smith with us. Lorena, welcome to the program today.
Thank you for having me.
So, how did you meet Diane here and become part of Weight Loss Nation?
Oh, I met Diane a couple months ago, and when Chef Gara introduced me to Diane, I was very excited. And then talking to her, she explained what her vision was about the program that she wants to implement. And I fall in love with the idea of helping others to achieve health.
So what is your background then in health management, weight loss, and things of that line?
Well, I was in real estate for a little bit over 10 years. And
when did you get out of real estate? Did you ever do a deal with me?
I know most of my career in real estate was in D.C.
Okay.
So I was a settlement agent in D.C., very stressful job, working long hours, and like many, got into depression, and I did my whole roller coaster, ups and downs, and I found yoga, and I truly believe on the benefits of yoga and meditation, and I talk from the heart because it's possible to make the change. So when Diane explained to me what is it that she wants to accomplish, I'll say, well, call me in. And I feel very, very blessed that I can provide some of my experiences, and people can rely into other people. So I become a mentor, and we all mentor from each other.
So you're a program director with, what is that, Hanak Prana?
Oh, you pronounce it very well.
I did it right. I didn't even ask you beforehand.
You did good.
Working this game.
Hanak Prana Yoga. What is this? Where's this at? Is that a special type of yoga? What is this?
Oh, no. Well, yoga have different traditions, and we follow the Hatha tradition, Vinyasa style, and I follow Kripalu style. So Hanak Prana is a combination of 2 words. I'm Peruvian, if you haven't catch my accent just yet. And we, in the mountains of Peru, we speak Quechua, which that's what I got the first word for, is Hanak. And Hanak means the love from the above. And then we have Sanskrit, which is the language of yoga, which means life, force responsible for life. So when I'm trying to integrate the 2 of the cultures that I'm most grateful for, I say, well, I'm going to use Hanak Prana. And that the name is, it's very unique, but I love to talk about it because I really identify who I am.
So do you have a location? Do you just go to different gyms?
Yeah,
or how does your business work?
We have in a studio, I say we because although I'm the director, I have a great group of people collaborating with me. So we are 8 different yoga teachers, and we are in New Tampa, Wesley Chapel area. It's a very cozy studio. We have 23 plus classes every week, Monday to Sunday, and everybody is welcome to attend.
Very cool. So, Diane, tell us, why did you choose podcasting as a platform for Weight Loss Nation?
Well, from my experience with my successful show, Medicare Nation, I wanted to reach as many people as possible. So although I do public presentations and I speak, and I'm an author of the Medicare Survival Guide, it still wasn't enough to reach people. So by having a podcast and for people to listen when they want and where they want, I really felt that was going to be the best medium. So that's what I did, knowing that people will have a great interest, because Weight Loss Nation is so different than weight loss programs. This is a life change program. It's very, very different, and we have all the tools and resources available. Now, yoga, I've never done in my whole life. I'm 54 years old, and I really thought yoga was for skinny women, who are flexible. Okay, there's no way in the world I thought I would be able to do it. But after speaking with Lorena, she invited me into the studio, and she told me I am welcome. Everyone is welcome, and don't worry about anybody else. They're only on their own mat, and they're totally in their own zone. No one's even going to pay attention to you. And she's 100% right. You don't feel uncomfortable, you don't feel like people are watching you or anything like that. It's everybody is into their own zone. So she was wonderful for the first time to teach me a few things, and it really was like just relaxing and stretching, really, and it was very comfortable, welcoming, and nice. So it was such a wonderful experience, and I did it fine. I asked her if there was a position where you would just supine and on your back, and she said yes. I said, let's do that first. So that worked out great. All I had to do was lay on my back. It worked out phenomenal. But no, she's an awesome teacher, very calm, takes her time, asks about my limitations, and it was just a fantastic experience. I'm going in for now with the group. I'll be going in with a group next week. That's how wonderful it was.
So you've added the emotional component there with Barbara, who's in that last segment. Now you got Lorena here, who's introduced yoga, and we'll be hearing from Patricia here in this last segment. But you got this whole cast of mentors here with all these different specialties all to yourself, it seems, right now. Isn't that correct?
I do, but although it is a little bit selfish, but I'm trying to be 100% accountable and transparent for everyone who listens out there, to show them, hey, look, this can be done. You just got to commit. If you commit to the program, it's going to work for you, because we do have all the resources. 9 mentors from all around the country with different specialties, okay? And we have so much to offer. If you just commit, you'll do it. And we're there. You could stay with us. I'm going to be here for the rest of my life. So it's going to work. We got fantastic people.
Are these the guests that you have on your podcast regularly? Do they contribute daily or weekly or whatever?
Every Friday, I talk to one of them about their specialty, and we introduce one of the mentors to the nation. Every day they have their own meeting. Okay, so like tonight, Tuesday night, Barb has a support meeting from 5 to 5:30, and then Patricia is from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and Lorena is on Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock. See, I know my mentors support meetings because I love them. I need to have support, so I know when their meetings are, and if you need help that day, you just go to one of the meetings, and they're wonderful to talk to. They take care of everything for you for the day to keep you focused.
So the participants have access to the mentors then, so they're not just paired up with one of the individuals, like a mentor-mentee personal one-on-one relationship. This is a group mentoring podcast, I should say, correct?
We have both. Okay, what we have available for the public in the podcast is free. As members, there is 3 packages they could sign up as, where they get more individual support and the group support and private forums. So there is both. So it will help anybody depending on what their needs are. I remember I told you it's Diane proof, so I had to make sure it could fit all the needs. So it's all there. Whether you're an individual and you'd like one-to-one support when you learn about the different mentors, it's available. They're there. If you'd like to be in the group support, be in the group. We even have accountability partners if you just want to have one person to help you be accountable to get through the program.
So how does a person become a member of Weight Loss Nation again?
If they'd actually like to be a member and utilize all the resources and mentors, they just need to go to theweightlossnation.com, join now, and check out the different packages that we have. It starts from $9.99, and it goes up to the 3rd package, which has everything, including all our mentors, for $39.99 a month.
Now, you've said since you began this journey, you've lost 8 pounds. What are some of the changes that you've made that has enabled you to lose this 8 pounds?
So the first thing was I had to stop quantity. Okay, I could fill my plate up like it would look like 3 people were going to sit down to eat. So that's number one, is quantity. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, so pasta and bagels and pizza is number one. So
Right.
that really had to be a big change. I had to stop really eating so much carbohydrates. They were like the major portion of my diet. So now, right now, I've eliminated all white. If you think about white floured stuff from my diet, and I've really hardly eaten any carbohydrates except for like sweet potatoes and things like that, where I've incorporated healthier carbohydrates.
Very cool. Let me take a break here. Currently talking to Diane Daniels, host of Weight Loss Nation, her newly released podcast. You can learn more about this and become a member over at theweightlossnation.com. We're in studio with a couple of the mentors as part of the 90-day challenge. Coming back from the break, we'll bring in the Patricia Welter with Suncoast Pilates, the third mentor who's in studio with us today. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information. If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Attention medical professionals. Have you heard that Tampa Bay will become the first certified wellness district in the country? Thanks to Jeff Fennick's revitalization at Channelside, the Dr. Whisperer wants to streamline your efforts and preparation. So when you're ready to ignite your practice, use the Dr. Whisperer's public relations expertise to spread the word. Use the Dr. Whisperer to motivate your staff. And use the Dr. Whisperer to recruit and secure leaders within your practice. Call the Dr. Whisperer today at 727-420-2481 or visit thedrwhisperer.com where they write your prescription for success.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Westbound I-4 still a bit slow between 301 and MLK, and also on the brakes between the Selma Connector and 275. Southbound 275 still jammed up between Fowler Avenue and Hillsboro. Also a minor crash on northbound I-75 near Big Bend, and northbound I-75 north of State Road 50. A vehicle fire there slowed traffic through that area. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson, New York Hillsboro traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not? Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
Today, partly cloudy and more humid, high 85. Tonight, mostly clear, low 69. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, increasing humidity, high 87.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Now 2 hours a day, starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. Learn more about the show at TampaBayRadio.com and more about the Tampa Bay business owners at TBBO.org.
Yeah, Diane, I just wanted to say, I think what you're doing is incredibly brave and inspiring. People like you and Eric Lamar Smith, put yourself out there on social media. You come on radio shows. You do your own podcast. Eric's constantly doing videos left and right, and you guys are really showing the struggle. I'm not someone who's overweight, but I have a lot of friends who are overweight, and they're struggling really hard with this. And I think that you should congratulate yourself, and I'm obviously giving you kudos for that, because a lot of people just don't know what to do. Is that why you decided to start all of this? Is because you were looking for answers and couldn't find any? Because I think you're championing a pretty amazing cause.
I appreciate that, Josh. I really, really do. And, like I said, I've spent 50, years of my life going on weight loss programs that, they worked while you're in it. But once you leave, everything kind of sneaks back on you because you don't have that support and they don't have the resources available for a lifelong way of healthy living. So that's why I'm doing it. And I know there are people out there. I know you're scared and I know you don't know what to do and it seems overwhelming. But I'm telling you, my motto is small steps. Okay, to a healthy lifestyle. It will get you there. So we just take one day at a time. We utilize all the resources, and it will work. You will change your behaviors. You will start feeling better and becoming more healthy. And just to show you, my lovely mentors have already offered some discounts for all of you if you want to get started. Barbara Hennessy with The Joy Within is going to give you a free consultation. Okay, so just go to thejoywithin.com and thejoywithin.us, okay, and just leave her contact information and you'll get a free consultation. And Lorena Saavedra Smith has offered 10 30-minute visits, consultations for her yoga, okay, and all you got to do is mention the code IHEART10 from Weight Loss Nation, IHEART10, and call her at 813-333-1026, and she's going to give you 10 30-minute consultation visits for yoga. That's crazy because she's going to donate the proceeds to her different charities that she helps with domestic violence. She helps homeless vets, and she also helps disabled orphans in Peru. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Lorena and Barbara. Thank you.
And we'll put that offer up on the recap. You can find her at TampaBayRadio.com. We do a write-up after each show. And you got your mentor here, Patricia Welter, co-owner of Suncoast Pilates, with us here in this last segment. Patricia, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
So how did you and Diane come into contact with each other, and how did you get involved with Weight Loss Nation?
We have a mutual friend, Kendall Lucas, and he introduced us. And Diane approached me, and I thought she had a great concept, so I decided to join the team.
So Pilates, how does Pilates work in all of this?
Pilates was a methodology created by Joe Pilates, who was born in 1883. He migrated to New York and developed the program. It's an all-over body workout that is, whereas yoga has a little bit more meditational aspect, Pilates is a pure workout. It tones the entire body, and if you heard of the core muscles, it works on the core. But every workout, every single body part is worked. But it is for everybody, and not everybody does realize that.
How long have you been working in the Pilates business then?
My husband and I have owned the studio almost 20 years now. I've been in the Pilates industry about 25.
And your location? Where are you located at?
We're located in Palm Harbor, Florida.
Oh, so you had a heck of a drive to get in here this morning.
Yes, we
coming
did
in
this
from
morning.
Palm Harbor. So
Yes.
I appreciate you stopping in this morning. Diane, have you tried the Pilates yet?
I did, and I can tell you again, I thought Pilates was for skinny people that are flexible. I mean, that just seemed to be, I'm sorry to have that stereotype, but that's just what I thought. And again, Patricia and her staff were awesome, okay? And Pilates was awesome also. I mean, I got a heck of a workout. I sweated like crazy. It was hard work, but they totally make sure it's adaptable to what you can do. There's nothing, where they're adding weights or anything. It's all resistance type of training. I hope I'm saying that right, Patricia.
You're saying it right.
All right. But it was phenomenal. I love it. And I love the yoga, and I can't wait to do them both again.
And you document this on video too as well, right? You were telling me that you have a lot of fun putting these videos out.
I do. Unfortunately, I have them on video, and they're going up on the Facebook site this weekend, so everyone can catch me just being a total idiot out there. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because this is a lifestyle change, and I'm going to do it. And these are great programs that anyone can do. I don't care how big you are, how much you weigh. It doesn't matter if you have any disabilities. You can do it.
There's nothing unfortunate about that at all. I mean, you really are, helping people save their own life. I'm completely like, I got to start following this. I follow Eric Lamar, and his story is so inspirational. So you've inspired me to jump on your bandwagon, and I'm gonna get up on that.
Well,
what about you, Jamie? You gonna join in?
Josh?
We got a couple minutes left. Patricia, I know you had an offer you wanted to talk to the community about. Go ahead and talk about that.
Yes, I would be able to give a free 30-minute session to anybody that comes in and talks about iHeartRadio and That Business Show and Weight Loss Nation.
Okay, and what's the best way to get in touch with you? Phone, website, email?
Various ways. The phone number is 727-772-6772. The website is www.suncoastpilates.com. We also have a free Google app or iTunes app you can download under Suncoast Pilates.
Very cool. All right, well, we'll get that up in the show wrap-up as well for the people that are driving and couldn't write that down at TampaBayRadio.com.
Yeah, hey, Jamie, now that we know that it's not for skinny women, you and I could do this on a Saturday sometime.
I give you a throwdown. I invite each of you to come in for your personalized Pilates session.
A little yoga, a little Pilates, and then cap it off with a little counseling on our emotional problems, right, Josh? There you go. We got it all today here on That Business Show. Diane, thank you so much for being in studio and bringing in your mentors to talk to us today.
It's absolutely a pleasure. Thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate what you do for the public, too.
Thank you. And you can learn more about this and how to get involved at theweightlossnation.com. Also, thank you to Glenn Hebert, a.k.a. Glenn the Geek, who is the founder of the Horse Radio Network, who was on at the 7 o'clock hour. He has an amazing podcast network that he built up from one show, and it's all based online. So for all you horse lovers out there, horseradionetwork.com. And also thank you to Jody Sherman, who did an excellent job filling in for Christina Griffin on the 7:30 spot. And as always, thanks to Chris and Katie Kermitzos for the TBBO Tuesdays and the partnership with That Business Show. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. The 8 o'clock hour is still Working Woman Wednesday, so we'll feature them tomorrow morning. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.